Good morning. My name is Roann Sexson, and I'm here today with Dr. White of Vessel Health. Good morning, Dr. White.
Good morning, Roann. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Yes, it's great to be back here because the messages that we're creating through these videos are so important for Americans and people all over the world.
Great. Well, I'm very eager. I understand we're here to talk about good cholesterol today.
Good cholesterol is a great topic. I love this topic, okay? We spend a tremendous amount of time talking about bad cholesterol.
Yes,
and
we
in
do.
fact, most of the medicines that you hear advertised for cholesterol management treat bad cholesterol, and they do not attend to good cholesterol.
It's nice to know there's a good guy in this story. So tell us about the good cholesterol.
Good cholesterol is called HDL cholesterol. HDL stands for high density lipoprotein. And I told you previously that cholesterol comes in packets, you might say. A packet with an M&M coat.
Sure. Well,
it happens to be that HDL has such an M&M coat, but it functions very differently from LDL or bad cholesterol.
So what do you do about HDL? I mean, is that something we want to we want it to be as high as possible?
We want it to be higher. Okay. HDL's role isn't just one little thing, but its principal role, its main role, is what we call reverse cholesterol transport. It helps bring cholesterol from out in the blood vessels back to the liver so that we can dispose of it. So that's reverse cholesterol. It's bringing cholesterol back out of where it causes trouble. But it also does a couple of other things. HDL cholesterol is anti-inflammatory. And we know now in this day and age that inflammation does help create heart troubles or blockages.
Right.
It also, interestingly, inhibits what we call the oxidation or inflammation of bad cholesterol. So bad cholesterol doesn't really cause trouble until it becomes what we call oxidized. And when it becomes oxidized, it creates inflammation that self-perpetuates itself. And so HDL also has that effect. And lastly, it has an effect on blood clotting. So it makes blood clot less. So this is a plethora or multiple effects that make good cholesterol good.
So, Dr. White, tell us, it sounds like our goal is to try to have high cholesterol or high HDL. How do we do that?
Well, first of all, Roann, it helps to be a woman.
All right.
Okay, so you
Good.
are in, like,
for all
Flint.
those women out there, rah, rah.
Yeah. Women naturally have higher levels of HDL cholesterol. That comes down a bit at what we call menopause. Okay, but in general, 10 to 15 points higher than men. And the kind of numbers are numbers for women 55, 50, that kind of range, 60. Men 45, 50. When HDL cholesterol gets down to 30s or certainly in the 20s, that is hazardous. And I mentioned that area we call residual risk. Residual risk is the risk that's attended to not by your bad cholesterol, but by triglycerides and HDL.
I see.
So being a woman is first and foremost.
Great. So what can we do to impact our HDL?
It would be great if that was an easy fix, all right? But the tools that we have are indeed limited. The number one thing is exercise. It's important to exercise as much as possible. We're going to spend some time on exercise. The second thing that's helpful is niacin. Niacin, as you know, is a B vitamin.
Right, right.
If a person has a low HDL cholesterol, though, it needs to be given under a doctor's scrutiny.
Sure.
Not just in a multiple vitamin. And so we give niacin in a dose that's adequate to increase the HDL cholesterol. Lastly, pharmaceutical companies are working vigorously, I can tell you vigorously right now, to come up with tools that are prescription drugs. You know, lastly, Roann, it's worth mentioning that pharmaceutical companies, the industry that makes drugs, is very interested in this topic, and there's tremendous amount of aggressive research going on in trying to find compounds that could be written for with a prescription that would increase HDL. To date, none have come to fruition, unfortunately, but it seems to be a holy grail, you might say. So at Vessel Health, though, as I've mentioned, we are not just interested in one's bad cholesterol. We're interested in the whole person, and in this instance, in all the components of the cholesterol and how they affect one's potential for developing hardening of the blood vessels or atherosclerosis.
Great.
In the best of all worlds, Roann, individuals would come seek us personally, because obviously you can't explain all this on a phone call or on a website. The telephone number is 505-828-3000, and our website is www.vesselnm.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much. This was very informative.